It's alive. Okay, now I go here. Alright, baby, we're live.
Yay!
Come on camera so we can start talking.
My neck hurt.
I know your back hurts.
So my neck hurts, not my back.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
But just lay down and grab your phone.
Alright, go ahead and do your thing.
So, I named it Christian Corner.
I like that.
Well, hello there, my fellow Christians. Welcome to the first episode of the Christian Corner. And I have right here my wifey, both here and in Christ. She's being lazy. And today we start the first
Baby
episode of
shark,
this.
do.
Huh?
Baby shark, do. Baby shark,
Seriously, babe.
do. Baby shark.
Since this being our first Christian stream, we're just gonna talk about how we got into Christ and what led us to follow Christ and all that good stuff. So you want to start us
Yeah.
off, baby?
Well, simply put, where I come from, if you hate me because of my religion and the fact that I am a child of God, then I don't know what to tell you. Go on somewhere.
But tell us how you first found God.
Ask me questions.
How did you first find God?
Like, what do you mean? Be specific.
What? How did you first find God? What got you into God?
Well, God, Lord, this was like many, many, many years ago. 'Cause I'm really old. And I was actually at a youth event the first time. I was probably about, God, I can't remember. It's been so many years ago. And I mean, I started going to church, but just because you go to church doesn't mean you believe in God.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I was. I started going to my church almost. I've been going to the same
Worship's for
church for
everyone.
like 10 plus
And
years.
it and not participate towards God and into God as we draw near to God, is that He draws near to us. And that He comes to change us and reveal Himself to us and speak to us.
But
Amen.
let's not get twisted.
Well, come on, like from the front to the back, all
No,
around this
ask me a
incredible
question.
auditorium, let's lift our hands
Me and
towards
God
God
had
tonight.
issues
And we're
for a
going to
long
commit
time.
this into His hands.
Okay. Ask me a
God, we look to
question.
You tonight.
Same question goes for you.
Above the singing, God, above the music, that high, Jesus. Let Your name be honored.
Same question.
Turn
what
that
you
down, or I
do.
won't be able to hear you.
Huh?
Can you turn that down? I won't be able to hear you.
Here I am,
Give me a second.
down on my knees
Is that better?
again, surrendering,
Yeah.
surrendering. Find me,
That's
Well,
better.
Lord, as you draw
when I
me
first discovered God,
desperate for you,
I was around 12 years old, and
desperate.
Aww.
what?
I surrender.
That's adorable.
I was 12 years old, and I
Can I
was,
go turn my light off?
yeah,
Can I?
yeah,
Go ahead.
I was 12 years old, and I was hit by a car.
Wait, you were 12 when that happened?
Yes,
I thought you were like 14 when
no,
that
I was
happened.
12,
Oh.
and I fell
I
into
could
a
have sworn,
coma. I fell into a coma for 4 months.
I could have sworn you were like 14.
Although,
I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back. Continue.
although doctors told me, doctors told me that I had no brain injuries or nothing, but somehow I slipped into a coma. I think it's from the shock of it all. And while in that coma, I know it's hard to believe, but I'm telling you from experience and from everything that happened. I heard a voice, which I heard that was my own conscience. But that voice said, "Awaken, my son, for it's not your time.
I
You have more to work on. You have more to do in this world. You have more to work on. You have a lot of things that you still need to complete." When he said that, I woke up and suddenly, suddenly, I felt this presence, and I felt like there was something I needed to do. At that time, I couldn't figure out what it was. Not until I got older and I realized that it was God calling for me to help spread His word. To not only the adults, but the youth too. So since then, I've been doing that. Yeah, I followed some hardships. I lost my way a couple of times, but God has pushed me back on the line now.
but here's the thing about that. Have you ever considered um rededication?
Huh?
Hold on. I said, have you ever considered rededication?
Rededication?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think I'm doing?
Honey,
What?
it goes far more than just saying it.
Yes, I've been rededicating myself.
No, you gotta like you gotta do what I did. You got to there's you got to pray to God and tell Him, like, look, I can't, basically, I can't do this without you. I I need you. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna start living for you the way you wanted me to.
I've already done that.
Honey, you scare me. You really do.
No, seriously. I've already done that. When I was sick with COVID, I feared that I was gonna die, and I sat there and I did a long ass prayer. And I finally let myself go, and I said, God, I need help. I'm in a position that I can no longer hold myself up.
Well, here's the thing. With that being said, you've got to. See, there's a lot that someone is gonna. There's a lot that's gonna change when someone comes to follow Christ and someone gives their life to God. There's really a lot. And I know people think, oh, it's just a simple prayer. No, it goes farther beyond
It's
that.
more than that.
It,
It's not as
it,
easy as one thinks.
exactly. It's really not. In fact, to be honest, it's one of the hardest things anybody's going to go through. But also, when I say it's one of the hardest, it's one of the most amazing feelings in the world. Let me tell
Amen
you
to that.
I was going to go into a whole story.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me tell you a little bit about me. Okay?
Okay.
We're going to go way back for a minute, okay?
Way back in time.
Basically. So, growing up, my childhood really wasn't the best. Not from my mom's point. My mom did everything for me. My mother is amazing. My mother is wonderful. Luis can attest to that. He's met my mother,
Mm-hmm.
both over the phone and in person. But from my dad's side, it obviously wasn't the best. My dad really wasn't there growing up a lot, and unfortunately, even though to this day they will deny it, I would come and mind you, my dad never ever laid his hands on me. My dad would rather what than ever do that. But
I
my
know.
his ex-wife, however, did. And I would come home with bruises on my hands, all over my arms. And the thing is, it wasn't like, oh, they were beating me to death, but she would like slap me. And I would have handprints all over my arms and my hands. So, you dealt with that growing up. And then,
Yes, I have dealt with that.
and I tried for years and years and years and years to get along with her growing up. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I tried for years and years and years growing up. I couldn't do it. Me and her have had our fair share of words. Me and her have had our fair share of arguments, of fights. No, they were never physical. I've said some things to her that I regret to this day. But back then, I felt that was the only course of action. Now, fast forward to about 13. I was about 13 years old, 13, 14, somewhere in there. And I had discovered women. At 13, I met a girl. Her name was Leanna, and she was from Jay, Oklahoma. My cousin Robin had introduced me to her. And at that time, I liked her, but I didn't know that I liked her in a romantic type of way. I thought, honestly, it was just I liked you, but maybe it'll go over type of thing, right?
Right?
Well, come to find out, I actually was bisexual. I discovered that I was attracted to women, that I wanted to date a woman, be with a woman, whole 9 yards. So fast forward to when I come out as bisexual, you know, of course my mother handled it completely differently. She handled it in a calm manner. She said, biblically it is wrong, which that is, she's factually correct. She said, but I will love you and support you no matter what. However, my father wasn't exactly the same. He did say that he didn't want to queer for a daughter and blah, blah, blah. Well, after hearing that, I tried to take my own life because I thought, well, I was a teenager. I was still a kid. I couldn't process this. So all that happened, and then, I had my first boyfriend in high school. And after we broke up, that's when I really like tried to take my own life. I did then too. I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's not worth it." It's really not. No man is worth it. But then I met a girl named Megan, and really that's when life took a turn for the worst because I was put in some abusive situations because of her. I was put in physical abuse, verbal abuse, mentally and emotionally abused. I was manipulated. I was controlled. I was basically brainwashed. And to this day, I still I still do little quirks that I was brainwashed to do. Am I still going?
Yeah.
Well, by physical abuse, I mean a woman I used to live with. I was staying with another friend of ours at the time, and we had pulled up to this woman's house
Your
that I used to
friend
live with.
Amanda is watching on Facebook.
Hi, Amanda. I love your face. I hope you feel better, baby. And anyway, and so there's that. And I literally have been hit in the face, had my lip busted open. I have literally been knocked to the ground and beaten and kicked. I've had bruises before. I have been I have had people get in my face and scream at me and yell at me. I have had people do unimaginable things. So fast forward to about let's fast forward here. Let's fast forward to 2019. The year my life entirely changed forever. I met a couple. We'll just leave it at that. I don't feel their names are important enough to mention. But I met a couple. I met the wife at first. And again, I had a thing for females at the time. I mean, I'm not bisexual anymore, but I fell in love with her at first, and then she introduced me to her husband, and then I'm gonna spare you the details of what happened next, but let's just say we were involved in a romantic relationship, and he quickly manipulated me into believing that I could trust him, and he quickly manipulated me into believing that he was the only man I needed. And then shortly after, he did the unimaginable. After that, my trusted men just went completely down the toilet.
Until you
I
met
mean,
me.
exactly. Shout out to my friend Timmy because I'm telling you, this was all before I met Louise. So nobody take what I'm about to say the wrong way. I've already explained to Louise. He already knows. Literally, if it wasn't for him that night, I probably would still be stuck there. All my mom had to do was make one phone call to him. That was it. I was home the next day. Well, on a bus home the next day. Um, and then in 2020, I met I met a man who happened to be the exact same way as the man I met in 2019. That whole situation happened. But to be honest, I didn't really. It's hard to explain, but I will tell you this: if it wasn't for the good Lord above, I honestly don't know if I'm sitting here right now. Because to be honest, I never fully understood God until last Wednesday, sitting in a church pew at 7, 8 o'clock, at like 6, 7 o'clock at night, bawling my eyes out hysterically. And let me tell you, being convicted by God is a very beautiful feeling, but it's also very scary because you don't know what's happening. You don't know what to do. You're confused, and there's so many things going through your head at once. But it's like, if God's calling you, you gotta listen, because I'm telling you, but y'all need to get ready. Y'all need to be ready.
Amen. We need to
If you've
be
ever,
ready because the
if you've
day
ever,
will come when people listen.
honey, oh no 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 no, it's coming. It's happening. It's already happening. If you go, if any of y'all have ever grown up in church or anything like that, or if you have people that are religious, if you go study the Book of Revelations, if you read the Book of Revelations, look at what's happening to Israel. Look at what's happening in the world. If you go read the Book of Revelations, um, it literally it's happening.
Yeah, there is signs of it happening,
Mhm.
but no one knows when exactly it's going to happen but God.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Um, See, remember Jesus was supposed to come back April 24th.
Hmm.
No, scientists from NASA apparently biblically proved that Jesus was supposed to come back April 24th, 2024. And I kind of laughed when I seen that. But here's the thing, I didn't laugh at the fact that Jesus was coming back, because trust me, I am more than ready to meet my Lord and Savior. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to meet the King himself. However, I laughed at the fact that they said it was biblically proven that he was supposed to come back April 24th. And I asked my mother, who is a Christian herself, I asked her, I said, Mama, I said, how much do you know about the book of Revelation? And she's like, I know quite a bit, because my mom went to a Bible college, had a full scholarship to a Bible college. And I said, can you show me something in the Bible? And she's like, oh, absolutely. And she's like, what do you want to see? I said, the part in Revelation where it says April 24th, 2024. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, didn't you know that NASA proved Jesus is coming back on the 24th? Again, I wasn't laughing at the fact Jesus was coming back, because, again, I am ready, more than ready to meet the good Lord. I laughed at the fact that people think they can biblically prove stuff. Like, I just looked at that, and the first thing out of my mouth was, are you God? Are you Jesus? What? Like, I don't know if Amanda's still watching, but if she is, I mean, we both went to church together. I don't think we ever learned about April 24th, 2024.
That's because it's not true.
Exactly. And here's the thing.
Just like the Mayans predicted that God was going to come on a certain day, never showed up.
See, here's the thing. And a lot of people don't realize that with NASA doing that, that is honestly, that's a sin amongst itself.
Yes, I know.
Because in a way, and I'm not, and y'all can come at me for this, I don't care. In a way, it was sort of like NASA was trying to be God. Like, they were acting like they were God. So many things going through your head at once. But and one of the biggest things, one of the 10 Commandments is, "Thou shalt not have any other gods before me." Okay, then why is NASA out here playing God? What
Because they think they know the stars,
exactly?
but they don't. They really don't.
And see, here's the thing. The Bible is like a storybook. Yes, everything in there. Biblically, factually correct. Everything. But if you read it, there's some really good stories in there. Some really good stories.
There's a book that I used to read as a kid called Biblical Stories, and it's a big yellow book with red letters.
My aunt, for years, I don't know if she still has it. She used to have it. She had a whole collection of books, and they were blue, and they had like Bible characters on the front, and they were like, of course, Bible stories for kids. And then she had a big book. It was like yay thick, wasn't very big. And it was, again, Bible stories for kids. And she had that growing up. And I just remember, like, I remember from a young age being told about God and Jesus and all this. And again, I'm a kid, I can't fully grasp it yet. However, I wanted to be known that I was never hardly a religious person at all. And I can explain why. What? What are we doing?
Huh?
Are you waiting for me to explain?
Yeah?
Oh, is that what you're waiting on?
Yeah?
So, Luis knows the story of why me and God had issues for so long.
Yes, I do know.
But let me explain. Luis, you've seen the tattoo on my wrist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the semicolon, the other one. When you were here in person, you've seen it, right?
Yes.
It's my grandfather's signature, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So back in like 20, and again, so back in like 2016, wait. Yeah, 2016. My mom's dad, my papa, passed away day after Christmas. And I don't think I've ever been so shattered or heartbroken in my entire life. Like, I was so mad at God, like, you just took my best friend. Why would you do this to me? What, like, I couldn't help but ask myself, what did I ever do to you? Why? Why would you do this to me? I did nothing to you, and this is what I get? So I tried to slowly heal from that and slowly recover from that. I started getting closer to God and everything. I tried to. And then just last year, my dad's dad, my Papa Billy passed away. I'm like, again, why are you doing this to me? What did I ever do to you? I was just so mad at God at this point. I'm like, if you really loved me, you wouldn't do this to me. You wouldn't take people that I love and care about.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few months later, another family friend whom I love dearly, name was Miss Carolyn, he passed away. And I'm like, dude, no, that's it. That's it. I'm done. Oh, and to make matters worse, August 7th, 2023, my best friend was murdered. And I had to, one of the hardest things is watching that casket close on somebody you love and care about. It's really difficult, and I just I was just, so mad and angry for so long. I pushed God away, and I was like, no, I want nothing to do with you. If you're gonna do this to me, I can't do it. Well, again, I can't remember what day it was, but this last Wednesday, it was a week ago, and was during revival. It was towards the end. I watched somebody go up and get saved, and that's when I snapped and I broke down and I started bawling my eyes out because I knew right then and there I I can't do life by myself. And granted, yes, I do have a fiance and we plan on getting married soon. But I
Mm-hmm.
would, even with him, I would, even marrying him, I would still be all alone in this life
Really?
because let me explain, okay?
I know I'm kidding, baby. I know what you mean because I've been there.
Exactly. Like I, even with Luis, I would still be alone because I didn't have God. Because if you don't have God, you don't have anything. I'm sorry, point blank. If you don't have God in your life, you have nothing.
That's the truth.
And I just knew I'm like I need to I need to come home. I can't do this on my own. And I just cried out. I'm like, save me, help me. And I could hear God telling me, come home, my child. I could hear him. I could. It felt always. It felt as if he was almost felt as if he was in front of me, like with his arms open, like come home. I can save you. I can clean you. I can make you better. And on a positive note, I am getting baptized this coming Sunday, and I will be singing in church for the first time in forever. So if you see a video of me singing in church, squeezing a fidget toy, mind your business.
I'm
No,
proud of
serious.
you, my wife. I'm really, really proud of you.
Honestly, that felt so good just now. Whew. I've been holding that in for years. And trust me, nobody's perfect. And people think, oh, well, you just because you're a Christian and you believe in God, you live a perfect life. No, we sin just like everybody else. But the important thing is, and another thing that my preacher was talking about tonight, he said God demands loyalty and honesty and truthfulness, and that is true. Whenever you sin, you gotta own up to it. Because what he said tonight really got to me, and it really made a lot of sense. Because he's like, if you sin and you lie to God about it, it'll catch up. It'll catch up and catch up to you, and it will. Trust me. I'm 27 years old. Everything I've ever done in life caught up to me.
I told you.
I'll be honest. I'll You want to know what I was like before I met Luis? I'll tell you. I'll keep it PG. I literally would sleep with anybody that I could. I was drinking all the time. I used to smoke pot. I never did any illegal, like, I never done cocaine. I've never done any hardcore illegal drugs. I used to, I've even cheated on Luis a few times, and again, every sin I've ever committed caught up to me. But you know what? The good thing is, God is a forgiving God. He is a jealous God. And that night, sitting in that church pew, crying my eyes out, he told me, he said, I forgive you. You are mine now. And I'm doing my best to live for him and, be what he wants me to be and be that example. And no, it's not easy because for me, I had a certain lifestyle that I lived way before this, and now I got to do a complete 360 and change all of it. Like, of course, it's going to be difficult, but in the end, the result is going to be so much worth it because the end result of this is walking through them pearly gates, going to the mansion that God has prepared for me in heaven, and going and finding my family, my grandparents, Miss Carolyn, Papa, my dogs, everybody. Okay, I'm done.
Now how you feeling?
I feel fantastic. Please ask me questions. I'm on a roll.
So, how different do you feel from what you were till now that God found you?
I honestly feel a heck of a lot better than I did because you got to understand. One thing people need to understand is with see once
Yeah?
you can go ahead and go see what Dad needs. I'll finish.
He's someone talking now.
But anyway, I feel a lot. I feel a lot better. But one thing that people need to understand is that they think the devil will attack them before they find God. They no, no, sweetie, no, 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 no. The moment you give yourself to God, the devil basically just goes to war with you. At least in my personal opinion, because if you've lived a certain lifestyle for so long, when you give your life to God, the devil is going to bring back temptations. He's going to bring back some of those old people that you used to run around with, smoke with, drink with, you know, all that good stuff. He's going to bring that back 10 times more. And you have to sit there and be like, I can't do this no more. It's a wonderful feeling. It really is. You know, and I can say at 27 years old, my grandmother would be absolutely very proud of me because my nanny was the sweetest little Christian lady you'd ever met in your life. She would do anything for everybody. And she passed away in September 2008, I think. 2000. I want to say it was 2008, something like that. Her doctor killed her, is what we believe. And you're probably wondering, how did he kill her?
Why don't you tell them?
You already know, don't you?
Yeah, I already know.
Okay. So basically, my family believes that my grandmother's doctor killed her. And the reason why is because my grandmother was a diabetic, real bad diabetic, and she had really, 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 really bad arthritis. I mean, there were nights this woman would just scream in pain, and it was the most gut wrenching thing you'd ever see in your life. Well, she to understand what why she would go to these she would go to her doctor and she would tell him, and I was there, I would go with her. and I would see her crying, saying, I'm hurting really bad, and it's getting worse and worse and worse, and the medicine's not working. And he would just make her pop pills every time, every time, every time. Take this, take that, take this, take that. And of course, she did what she was supposed to do, and it wasn't working. Nothing worked for her. So eventually, one day, it got so bad we had to send her to St. Francis Hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, she had cancer. At this point, chemo or radiation would not have saved her, because by the time we found it, it was from head to toe. I mean, every part of her body was covered in it. And she went in on a Friday. They told us Monday or they told us Friday, I think it was either Friday or Saturday, they told us that the following Monday they were going to do a test to see what kind of cancer it was. She passed away that following Monday. Now, let's backtrack. Okay? We believe that the doctor knew that she had cancer but would do nothing about it. We firmly believe that the doctor knew all that time that she had cancer but refused to do anything about it. And that's why we believe that the doctor killed my grandmother. Because if my grandmother's cancer would have been caught early, she probably would still be alive today. Oh, yeah.
I just recently lost my grandmother to cancer too.
Mm-hmm. Now, my grandfather, however, the one that's on my wrist, did I ever tell you how Papa died?
Yes, you have.
Well, my grandfather died of a heart attack. My mom's dad. He, about a year prior to his death, he started getting dementia and Alzheimer's, and at least that's what I think happened. The dementia and Alzheimer's. He would get confused very easily. He got to where he couldn't walk very well. He fell a couple times. One time when he fell, he was actually grabbing his chest. Come to find out, he was in the middle of having a heart attack. That's why he fell. He was having a heart attack. So of course we rushed him to the hospital and we saved him. You know, got it in time, of course. And eventually he got to where he couldn't get out of bed, he couldn't talk, wouldn't eat, wouldn't do nothing.
That was a tough one.
Oh, I wasn't even finished.
How long do you want to have this stream go for?
I'm in a good mood, man. Let me tell my story.
I know, but that keeps picking on my wall too. That's all we got.
Can I finish this story and then we hop off here and then I tell you the story about Papa Bill? Okay. So real quick, guys, I'm sorry. Real quick. So like I said, December 26th, it was the day he died, and that morning, you know, me and Mom took turns going in there taking care of him and everything. We just knew that he was getting ready to pass, and so, of course, my uncle brought over one of his favorite pizzas, chicken fajita pizza. It's the only pizza he would eat. I made him a cake. It wasn't nothing special. It was just a little yellow cake with frosting on it. That man ate a box of pizza, and he ate half a cake. We let him have whatever he wanted. We fed him. I used to blame myself for so many years because Mom we had water problems out at our old trailer. We had to turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. Well, she had asked me to go turn off the water, and I said, "Okay, I'll go turn off the water." And so I turned off the water, come back inside, and I'm minding my own business. And Mom comes down the hallway screaming and crying. And she's like, "Honey, I got something to tell you." And I just remember I pushed her out of the way and ran back. And that's when I knew he was gone. And if it wasn't for the good Lord himself, I wouldn't have been able to get through any of this. But
Noise. We did 46 minutes. But you know
but
what, baby? I am proud of you for how far you've come since then.
I love you guys. I really do. But I'm gonna hop off here.
Okay, baby. I'll see you on call in a little bit.